Oh, did you guys meet? Wallace,
Hi.
This is my cousin Chantry.
Thank you for being so gracious in victory.
I'm gonna give you my number. We should hang out.
Yeah.
My boyfriend will be worried about what happened to me. So, friends?
Yeah, why not? Actors, the only time we talk about genre really is when we're promoting a film or when we're talking about to journalists, because I don't think it's something that really factors into, well, certainly doesn't to my thought process when I'm picking a role. You know, you're not thinking like, oh, I want to do a romantic comedy, only show me romantic comedies from now on. You know, you don't say that to your agents because you just go, you're just looking for a good film, you're looking for good scripts. And when this script came along, like I'd read a few romantic comedies around that time. Some of them actually were really, really good, but this one just sort of stood out to me, and also, pardon me, at the time had kind of the realist chance of going, so I really wanted to be a part of it. There isn't any process to choosing a script beyond reading it and really enjoying it or not enjoying it for me. You know, I think I'm very lucky in the sense that I've got good instinct, and both my parents were sort of, you know, everything they worked on when they could choose or had some say in what they worked on. You know, my mum was a casting director, and most of what she did was working for Peter Kosminski. He does kind of a lot of very intense political stuff on TV and challenging things. And my dad, you know, my dad's whole job as a literary agent was to find new writers and playwrights. So I like to think that I've inherited some of their kind of tastes and instincts for scripts. But I just like things that good dialogue and, you know, fully realised characters, and you know, if it's kind of original or has some sort of fresh take on something, then that's great too. There's been a couple of kind of good action films, but I mean, the action film, people think the romantic comedy genre, because it's been interesting the last sort of month or so of talking about the rom-com, it's interesting to me, people are much more, people think of it as really being a genre that's kind of had a bad time recently, and I get that, but I don't think it's as bad as the action movie things are, just because like no one cares about, like, there is never like a character involved in any of those films. It's just the same people sort of thrown in different cities with different cars. Like it's really like yeah, and I like, you know, action movies, and I feel like there used to be lots of really witty ones, like, you know, Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, those kind of films, and but even like The Bourne Identity are kind of, I suppose, the great action movies of our time, but it's I don't know, they're few and far between when you find like a really good one. The question that everyone else has asked about this film, and that everyone else has thought this film is asking, is the same one as Harry Met Sally, like, can men and women really be friends? Like, the truth of the film is it ever sensible or sane to live in denial of your own feelings? Because there is no point in Wallace's mind where he does not want to see her with her clothes off. Like, he's in love with her. There's no semblance of like trying to be friends. He's just put in a situation where he kind of has to pretend to want to be friends. So like I don't think there's almost a mixed message there. That's just like the complexities of, you know, people saying one thing when sometimes they mean another, which is unfortunately the case, but not unfortunately, because like he's not, again, there isn't anything malicious in it. He just knows that he can't have anything more at that point, but he's found someone who makes him really happy, so he doesn't want to give that up. But in order to not give it up, there is like an act of deceit. I absolutely initially learnt the part American, but then, to be honest, what happened was that I
Canadian.
got out there, yeah, or Canadian, indeed, North American. What happened when I got out there was like a day, 2 days before we started filming, I was in Canada. The production company said, like, you have to do it English. And I was like, why? I've learnt it American. We've had many discussions about the accent for the last month, and I think it was that they were like, you're not marketable in an American, not in your own accent, basically in an accent that people don't recognise you as, which is like bad news for Horns and all the other stuff that I've done in American accents. But you know, it was kind of one of those ridiculous last minute panics on their behalf, and I certainly wasn't going to suddenly go, well, screw you guys, I'm going to put, you know, 200 people out of work for the sake of an accent. So I wasn't obviously going to do that. So that's why I'm English in the film. It wasn't through a choice. But yeah, it was. It ended up being really good. Like, it ended up being fine for the character. It's his, you know, there isn't anything about the character in the script that is inherently American or Canadian, so it didn't like change the story at all. It's just a little annoying because I like doing American accents. It's fun. So you okay?
I'm not sure about anything. I've been offered a job in Taiwan. I'll be gone soon.
It's very easy to be cynical about love.
Until you've had that
Instant connection. If you're lucky, it happens once in a lifetime.